stays clear of your nice white suit. Well, it's not okay. I want to spear it with brown stuff.
Yeah, sorry.
There's a video camera and a cup of tea on this, and I'd rather neither of them got knocked over. Please.
Okay.
There's a man with a white suit next to you.
Exactly. Yeah. I've really remarked on the effect that a cup of tea would make on that, and it's it's a really smart suit, by the way. I have to say, it's a really smart suit. Okay, so we are Aviva. Here we are. All your slides. Yes, it is. Hello.
Can we leave the door open or do we have to close it for health and safety reasons?
I think we can, let's try leaving it open, shall we? I think that most of the external noise, at least it will get the ventilation up. As you may have noticed, and please don't take it amiss Group 4, but I was struggling to stay awake at various pages, and you were doing pretty damn well, but it was the atmosphere in here was getting quite heavy. So let's try and keep it a little bit. Try and keep the air circulating if we can. If it gets too much outside, then I'll rely on you to sort of close the door if we're getting too much extraneous noise. Okay. Have you got a full complement?
So was that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you have. Right, when you start talking, I'll press the start button, so please carry on.
Hello everyone, we are going to present about Aviva. Aviva is an insurance company. It's the most reputed multinational company across countries. And we are going to present about how an insurance company is going to work in driverless cars. This is our structure today. Aviva's profile, innovation network strategy, proposal, impact of driverless cars on insurance, proposal for new innovation network strategies. And these are my friends, Ozu, Dimbo, Amit, and Frida. Now Ozu.
Good evening once again. Now I'm going to take you guys down to Aviva's profile. What do they do? What do insurance companies do? They simply help people save money for the future, then manage everyday risk. Now, Aviva is the 5th largest insurance company in the world. Back in the days, it could not stand on competition in the market because of the sector. So, General Accident merged with Commercial Union to form CGNU PLC in 1998. They later changed the name to Aviva in July 2000 to strengthen the brand's name. Currently, it's got 34 million customers worldwide with their head office in London. In London, they are the largest general insurer and leading life and pension in UK. It's got its primary listing in London Stock Exchange with the secondary listing in New York Stock Exchange. Now I'm going to talk about the achievements. It's a leading company to introduce more customized motor products and services and had led the way in car insurance. It partnered with IBM and Orange in 2003 to create telematic softwares and network coverage known as Pay As You Drive. It was launched in 2006. This technology uses the latest GPS to allow premium to be calculated based on when, where, how far customers drive their car. Okay, I'm going to say, look at the areas where they allocate their resources. Firstly, digital. Secondly, predictive analytics and automation. What does digital mean? It's just the operation of how customer wants to do business with Aviva. Predictive analytics, statistical techniques to analyze current and historical facts, to make predictions about the future or unknown. Then automation, The operating equipments used to reduce human interference and save energy and time. All right, next slide, please. These are the current services they do offer to customers: life insurance, general insurance, asset management, and health insurance. The car falls under the general insurance. How do they sell their products, by the way? They sell them through banks and corporate partners, through independent vendors, that is brokers and tied agents, direct sales, or online. Now let's look at Aviva's profile into society. A top 10 company, they're among the top 10 company in FTSE for good. Member Stonewalls, top 100 employer list, have helped 800,000 children through street and school programs. Invested 6.2 million in communities during 2013 alone. An extra £500 million allocated to UK infrastructures this year as part of government growth action plan. Like I said, they've got offices worldwide, like 16 countries. We're going to have a look at the operating profit by product this 2013. 68% from life insurance, 3% from fund management, then 29% from general insurance and health. Let's look at it this way through geography as well. 9% from Canada, 3% from Asia, 36% Europe. The UK and Ireland generates 52%. You might like to ask, why do you invest in Aviva? They've got a clear space in the market for diversified insurance and can provide sustainable growth that provide cash flows and have good options for growth. The strategies which I'm going to leave to FIDA to talk about the current strategies now. FIDA will talk more about that.
Okay, I'm going to discuss about current search strategies for Aviva. So there are two of them. The first one is corporate venturing. That means is joining with others, company or countries and so on. And the second one is harnessing the web. So for the first one, Aviva have a joint venture with few countries in order to sustain in their business, especially in insurance sector. So for instance, Aviva have a joint venture with Astra, which is one of the Indonesian insurance company. The venturing between these two companies is to create value for their customer in order to expand their business. So another example is Aviva has a partnership with China as well. The joint venture between Aviva and China National Oil Foodstuff and Cereal Corporation, which is known as COFCO, has been created as platform for developing a substantial business in China where the asset management sector has grown significantly as a result of overall economic growth and liberalizing policies of the government. For the second one is harnessing the web. So basically Aviva practice modern and online communication concept in order to connect with their customer. So from there, they gain information and ideas through web. Aviva totally utilize the function of the web and it's become one of the medium for them to reviewing and connecting with their customer. It doesn't matter whether their customer wants to complain or they are just listen to their customer voice. So that's the priority. So by communicating with customer, Aviva can grab the opportunities that can provide the best customer solution in order to ensure Aviva still become a competitive in their market, which is insurance market. So we move to the next slide. Is with this. Okay, so this is how they network in Aviva. So networking in Aviva, there are three of them. The first one is government, legal sector, and repair car companies. So let's say for the government, in order to protect the company, networking as the website are directed as such to UK residents and comply with appropriate UK legislation and regulation. As part of networking and effort to establish in their market, so Aviva has made huge investment in UK infrastructure, where this commitment is like a compulsory for any insurance company to invest, and this is direct result of the recent agreement on Solvency II, which is the European-wide insurance regulation, which provide greater regulatory and political certainty for insurers to invest in infrastructure assets. So, for the legal sector, Aviva have a strong networking as the website. I'm so sorry, that one is for legal sector, and now I'm going to explain about the government. There are switch of them. Okay, so the for the government, it's just like the same like what they did, but the difference is the customer get supported by the government, where through this networking, customer will get information they need at most appropriate time. And customer can take advantage of changes in the financial services market to put protection for their financial planning. So for the repair car companies, Aviva has great relationship with many of supplier actually. But one of them, I can give an example. One of the company that have a collaboration with Aviva is Solus Accident Repair Center, Auto Restore, and many more. Okay, Aviva has built up an extensive network of vehicle repair specialists to meet customer needs. So they are not simply just have a collaboration with one company, but they are make sure the relationship with the car repair company has been approved by BSI Kite Mark and Vehicle Manufacturers Standard, meaning the company are qualified to carry out the highest standard of repair. So I will pass to my colleague, Bingo.
Alright, the impact of driverless car on insurance. There will be drop in insurance premium due to the emergence of driverless cars. There will be less accident because when there's a less accident, there will be less claims, which will lead to less premium being paid. Then reduction in car sales, which means car sharing. In a household of 6 people, whereby everyone has their own car, normal car, and there's you now have the driverless car. There's possibility that everyone in that household can share one driverless car. That will eliminate the insurance of all other normal cars. The household will stop using. We go to new strategies, new search strategies. We'll be using the brokers and bridges, meaning connecting with other industries for ideas, like the academicians, like universities and different institutions for ideas. Then exploring multiple futures. We'll be creating multiple scenarios, whereby we'll be looking for scenarios in the future where we can innovate. Working with active users. Aviva will be working with customers to know the part of the risk the customers won't be able to take on their own. Looking at driverless car, there's possibility, because people are saying in a driverless car there will be less accidents, and people are saying they might not insure. So if people are not insuring, when they start using the car, there will still be a part of that driverless car they don't want to take risk of, being the person using the driverless car. Next one. How are they going to network? We are going to network with the customers, the academicians, the car manufacturers, and the software developers in case of antivirus. Because the driverless car is installed with software which will take the place of human driving the car. And this is a form of collective risk-taking. In a driverless car, if anything should happen to the driverless car, who is going to take liability? What are you going to blame in a driverless car? Is it the person that is in the car? Is it the manufacturer? So this network will help us to share risk amongst the manufacturers and other people. Next one. then why are we choosing this strategy? Why? To have a competitive advantage in the insurance market, to be able to stay in business considering the emergence of driverless car, and to increase the revenue of the company. And how are we going to go about this? We'll go about this by engaging with wider selection of stakeholders, by listening to people, the employees' idea from the bottom of the organization to the top management.
Right. I'll be talking about the implementation. Why are we implementing as an innovation leader? We have to be an innovation leader. To be a first mover by using what the strategies that Bimbo and Frida have explained earlier on. These strategies, when the company network with these strategies, when they use these strategies, what happens is Aviva is the fifth best company in the whole world for providing insurance. And in the UK, it's the first topmost company. And it has 20% of its stakes in the share stock exchange. It will use its immense monetary and financial powers to be first in the market and to clarify its responsibility. How would it clarify its responsibility? In the 3 states where the driverless cars have been allowed is in the US, the legislation has put the liability on the manufacturers. And by doing that, there is a scope for insurance companies. How there is a scope for insurance company? Well, to clarify our responsibility, what we do, we contact the manufacturers, the industry leaders who manufacture the cars, and then we decide who is going to provide the security for the onboard systems. The car has the GPS system. The car operates on some softwares. Who is going to provide security for those softwares? What is the durability of these softwares? We take in charge. We come in and then say, we can provide you solutions for this. How are we going to do this? By collaborating with other industries like software developers, liaising with car manufacturers, create an in-house operation to develop a policy that would cover driverless cars. Proposal for innovation strategy. Aviva has a technological competency because it already uses IT systems to provide customers with products and services. The process of the firm defines that it has resources to integrate knowledge, make valuable services and products. How does it do this? Well, it can use its financial power again because of its immense treasures that it has got. It can change that into useful networks. It can contact with the world-renowned academicians, software developers, companies like IBM. It is already doing with IBM. And then it networks and develops strategy, and then they develop on a proposal. But the company has competitive advantage of its enormous revenue. It has opportunities to connect and network. In terms of connected network, it integrates with software developers and IT experts to deal with driverless car insurance. It integrates with, in the processes, it integrates with a network of car industry experts. It gains a competitive advantage because it reaches the market first and creates value for its service and products, which makes it competent. Capture. How are we going to benefit from it? How are we going to benefit from the strategies that we are using? We will be able to gain a core competency in the business by understanding the business approach, by creating a model. Obviously, we don't know what the future is. There is a quite uncertainty, the probability of the driverless cars meeting an accident or not. Or will there be a driverless car on the road and at the same time there is a manual car which is driven by a driver? And what happens if they meet an accident? There is a possibility of, there is a scope for us to make a strategy and develop. Would it be able to capture a larger market share? Yes, it would. By working on the network strategies and the proposed theories. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, for me, that presentation was, this is going again, isn't it? Somebody is getting tweets or texts on a regular basis and it's going buzz, 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 and it's driving me up the blessed pole. Whoever's phone that is, I'm not looking at it, but if it goes off again, expect retribution. Get it turned off, please. You know, out of courtesy to them and out of courtesy to me. I don't know who it is, but just fix it. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't detract, of course, from what you've done. Okay. You've got the biggest company in the industry and well networked. Isn't there a case here for saying, rather than being the first mover, I'll wait and see how the market develops and then I'll put my massive resources behind getting it, you know, being a fast second rather than the first mover?
Well, I would refer to the case of Samsung and as it copied Apple products. Similarly, I think in this case, understanding a developed market, when obviously we are talking about a future and there is quite uncertainty in this. What do you guys say? What do you think?
The point is, okay, Samsung did very nicely out of copying Apple until Apple found its mojo again and has pulled ahead. There's no guarantee that Samsung isn't going to come back. It's a very capable company. That's my first question. Second thing is, this is the insurance industry, not the electronics industry. And, well, let me just go back a bit, because you talked about paths and processes, which is good. What was the most remarkable innovation for which Aviva was most recently responsible?
I mean, right now?
I'm talking about in the past.
Yeah.
In the past?
The pay as you go, because they created a they did partner with IBM. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, what I hadn't got was that they were the first mover on that,
Yeah,
were they?
yeah.
Okay, I hadn't appreciated that. Okay, that's a good answer. Okay. So they've got that background, and that partnership is with IBM. I'm just trying to work out, therefore, just go back, therefore, and just talk about the network that you are proposing for them. And you're talking about software developers as part of your network purely from the point of view of antivirus. It's not clear to me. First of all, why isn't IBM on the previous how do they network in the Aviva slide, where you're talking about government, legal sector and car repair companies? Can we go back to that slide? I'm sorry, my line of questioning isn't particularly good. But let's see, so bear with me a moment, please. Yes, okay, to the slide, how they network in Aviva, the one that you were presenting, Bafida. There we are, thank you, that's one. Do these three elements of their network produce innovation in the way, I mean, you pointed out how the link up with IBM had been instrumental in innovation. What innovations have come out of these three sets of network?
It's just, let's say for government, they are they have a networking in order to protect the data. So
Okay, but how does that lead to innovation? Because this presentation is, of course, about innovation. It's not about their general strategy. It's about assessing. You see, the point is that these three elements are part of not just of their current network, but also of the proposed network that Ahmed was talking about, yeah? Now, I suppose the question I propose to you is, why? Why do you want to hang on to these three for an innovation network specifically? I'm not saying you're not going to go talking to government, because of course you are. Strategically, that's the kind of thing that insurers have to do.
This is the current network strategy that they use.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. What other thing I'm trying to get is, what network do they use for innovation at the moment? Because remember, we are specifically talking about how you network for innovation. Now, you've got three elements there. Are those three elements of your network particularly helpful in terms of innovation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you give me some examples then, please?
Because because of their size, they're the largest in the UK, and because when driverless cars, when they come in place, the Lego structure is going to change definitely, and because of the size, they can influence any change within the legal sector. Then, according to our thinking, they've got enough stock, enough bonds in the stock market. They can work with the government and manipulate things, and because of their size, they can manipulate things. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so in other words, it's not actually in the development of the innovation that these three elements are important. It's in the implementation of the innovation. That is what I think you're telling me. Okay, thank you for that. Now, last question. This is intended to be a toughie. You talk about collective risk-taking, but as you were saying at the early stage of the presentation, the business of insurers is risk-taking. Why should they be looking to their network to share their risk with them? Surely it's the network that's going to be looking to Aviva to take on the majority of the risk.
See, technology comes with risk. Technology itself comes with different. It comes with hacking. It comes with different risks. So, them Aviva, they're not really sure what the IT going to be in the cars. So they prefer to share the risk with the IT companies involved in the driverless cars and the car companies.
Would the IT companies going to be happy with that? I mean,
because they're going to be happy because
they're going to contribute. Obviously, they are going to help Aviva take better decisions and understand the risks better than they would be able to by themselves. I can understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I were one of the software developers or one of the car manufacturers, I would be saying, or maybe not the car manufacturers to that extent, but certainly the academicians, I would be saying, yeah, my job is to help you, but you're the people whose job it is to assess and then to assume risk. That's your job. That's your function in life. Why should we be looking to share, collectively take risks alongside you? Okay, I'm going to leave that. Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Next up, please, is Group 6. Okay, I'm not quite ready for you yet. Sorry, just bear with me a moment.